Hey guys, Kickassreaction here, and we are back with some more Demon Slayer. So we're doing episodes 22 and 23 in this set. We are now at the Demon Slayer headquarters after taking out one of the 12 lower ranking member Ryui was, but one of the 12 Kizuki nonetheless. Ryuko. No, I'm thinking of Danganronpa. What is it? Tanjiro, Nezuko are now in HQ, as well as Zenitsu and Inosuke, I assume. Obviously, the idea is that HQ wants to see Nezuko and Tanjiro specifically, but also brought them along as well because they have injuries, they were in the battle and needed help. So, really curious what's going to happen right now. End of episode 21 revealed a lot of new characters, like pretty much all, I assume, like the Hashira members of the Demon Slayer, so every elite member, which is pretty crazy. Probably not all of them are going to be focused in this set. We do have one more to go before the end of the season, and then an entire series, obviously, after that. But I'm curious how many we're going to see, right? And I'm curious what the deal's going to be with Nezuko. I do assume that this isn't the first time they've seen a potential good demon out there, because we even know that Nezuko is not the exception to this rule. We even have two allies with us right now that are also good demons. So I'm assuming this isn't something the Demon Slayer Corps are new to, but I'm curious what they have in store for this. Do they have techniques to, help Nezuko out? Possibly, educate her a little bit more, get her a bit more lucid, a little more free thinking, Obviously, Tanjiro needs a new blade. I think all of them, actually, aside from Zenitsu, broke their blades. So they need, time to heal, rest, and get more materials to do their craft. The big one, though, is that I think it's going to be... I don't think HQ actually know about this, but it is going to be interesting, because I assume Tanjiro will let slip what he knows now about Muzan, since obviously he keeps such a tight leash on what he knows. We know that Urokodaki did tell some stuff to Tanjiro to where he could identify Muzan, but I don't think they have a clear description of the guy. I might be misremembering, because that was a little while ago, but I don't think they know exactly. At the very least, they don't know he has a fucking wife and child that are apparently both humans, So there is some rare, good information right there that he can give that is valuable. Whatever that gets him in exchange, we'll have to see. But I am really curious to see this. Obviously, this is the first time we're at the direct HQ. We're seeing more Demon Slayers right now. Butterfly Girl, I presume, is here. I don't quite remember her name. Nor do I think the girl who was chasing after Nezuko was even named at all. So, we got them. We got Jiyu. Maybe we get our full, proper reunion with that, which is going to be funny. And obviously, possibly meet the main leader of the Demon Slayers, which will be fun. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this. I'm really curious what we are actually going to do here. And, yeah, especially if we're going to be staying here into the next set, or if we're going to be going on our journey. I feel quite strongly, actually, that we are done with the demons for this season right now. We're going to spend a majority of time here healing and possibly learning more lore about the demons, making more character relations, and making developments grow between each person, and possibly even have a new companion, maybe. Because we've got 4, if you count Nezuko, I guess, so we could get our 5th. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, this is exciting, obviously. 2 episodes, last set with 2 episodes was incredible. Last set after that was pretty great as well, so I mean, we're moving up. We're moving up with Demon Slayer right now. So guys, let's begin with episode... Oops. Let's begin with episode 22. Will you fucking wake up already? Yep.
なんだ鬼を連れた鬼殺隊員2から派手なやつを期待したんだがこれからこの少年の裁判を行うと
Trial? Oh, that's not good. Trial for Nezuko or something? For keeping a demon? At least you get it.
なんだこの人柱の前だぞ
Yep. That is one tall bloke. Holy Christ.
柱ってなんだ。この人たちは誰なんだ。
So Giyu isn't here, so I'm assuming there's 7 of them. Because there's 6 here, obviously.
ここは鬼殺隊の本部です。あなたは今から裁判を受けるのですよ。
That's not
竈
good.
門炭治郎くん。
That's not good. I assume it's going to be fine, but that's still not the best thing ever, honestly. But, what are you going to do? I presume we're not going to change MCs that fast, but we'll see how it goes. Master of the Mansion. Nice. What a colourful bunch. Flame. You're a little too happy about that. Sound. Okay. Mitsuri, love. Alright, I guess that makes sense. Stone. Jiumi? I assume. Mist. I don't even know how to say that one.
なんて言うんだっけ。
Hello, Snake Boy.
拘束もしてない様に俺は頭痛がしてくるんだが。
Oh, I like your design.
話によると、
Serpent.
どう責任を取らせる。
Oh, Banai. Not even gonna try some of these names. It's just not gonna happen. Oh my god, she just love everyone and everything. That's kind of funny, actually.
富岡さん、離れたところに一人ぼっち。怪我が治ったわけではないので無理はいけませんよ。では、竈門炭治郎くん。
鬼は俺の妹なんです。俺が家を留守にしている時に襲われ、妹は鬼になったけど、人を食ったことはないんです。今までも、これからも。
くだらない妄言を吐き散らすな。そもそも身内ならかばって当たり前。言うことすべて信用できない。俺は信用しない。
She never has, truthfully.
鬼に取りつか
Oh
れ
my
ている
god.
のだ。
Is this guy blind?
早くこの哀れな子供を殺して解き放ってあげる。
Jesus! How about we not do that?
あの
Someone's got memory issues.
でも疑問があるんですけど、親方様がこのことを把握してないとは思えないです。勝手に処理しちゃっていいんでしょうか。
おいおい、なんだか面白いことになってるな。鬼を連れたバカ隊員ってのはそいつかい？
This is our 9th member.
一体全体どういうつもりだ？
Hello!
品津川さん。
Oh my god, you literally are in love with everyone and everything.
鬼殺隊として人を守るために戦える？
She's literally done it.
ありえねえんだよ、バカが！
Damn! Good lord.
俺の妹を傷つける奴は柱だろうが何だろうが許さない。
Bastard.
よかったな。
やめろ。
And we know he's pretty goddamn good. Hey! His ultimate weapon! That fucking hammerhead. God damn, he landed a hit though. That's insane. He almost got Giyu when they first met, admittedly. I guess, yeah, that hole sort of opens the sunlight to her, doesn't it?
横から口を挟んだとはいえ、品津川に一撃を入れた。
That's actually crazy.
善良な鬼と悪い鬼の区別もつかないなら、柱なんてやめてしまえ。
Oof.
てめえ。
He beat you while tied up. That's fucking embarrassing.
殺してやる。
親方様の。
Hey! Wait, what? They both... Are they both white-haired now?
よく来たね。
Is the requirement for being a demon slayer you just need to have a fucking nasty scar? What the hell?
この人が親方様。
Wow.
早い。全く反応できなかった。この
Yeah, you bow, bro. You bow.
親方様におかれましてもご創建で何よりです。ますますのご多幸を切にお祈り申し上げます。
ありがとう、サネミ。炭治郎と禰豆子のことは私が容認していた。そしてみんなにも認めてほしいと思って。
Well, that was a quick trial. I guess that's GG then.
親方様の願いであっても私は承知しかねる。鬼を連れた鬼殺隊員など認められない。
私は全て親方様の望むままして。
Obviously. We know Jiu's already in. So that's 3.
すぐに忘れるので。
Okay, you've got some bad amnesia. Okay, I might as well call you Ryoko then.
信用しない信用しない。そもそも鬼は大嫌いだ。
Honestly?
心より尊敬する親方様であるが理解できないお考えだ。全力で反対する。
Shit, that's 4 to
鬼を
3.
滅殺してこその鬼殺隊。かまど富岡両名の処罰を願います。
I guess they're outvoted.
手紙を。
はい。こちらの手紙は元柱である鱗滝左近様からいただいたものです。
Yorodaki.
一部抜粋して読み上げます。腹を切ってお詫び。
Oh wow, they're all on the chopping board for that. I didn't know they all co-signed in that. Put so much faith into that, which is pretty cool.
切腹するからなんだというのか。死にたいなら勝手に死に腐れよ。何の保証にもなりはしません。
品津川の言う通りです。人を食い殺せば取り返しがつかない。
この炭治郎は鬼物児と遭遇している。
So, you knew even that, huh?
柱ですら誰も接触したことがないというのに。こいつがどんな姿だった。能力は場所はどこだ。
戦ったの。
Hell no!
何をしていた。根城は突き止めたのか。
Wow.
答えろ。
俺が先に聞いてるんだ。
Oh my god, poor guy. I would also like to question where the hell the other two are in this.
炭治郎に向けて追っ手を放っているんだよ。
人間ならば生かしておいてもいいが鬼はダメです。これまで俺たち鬼殺隊がどれだけの思いで戦い、どれだけのものが犠牲となっていったか。
You gonna wanna fight Nezuko?
何してるの何してるの。
Yeah.
お庭が汚れるじゃない。
Is he gonna bait her out or
親方
something?
様、証明しますよ俺が。おい鬼。
Baiting her out with blood.
食らいつけ。
You'd have a point if it wasn't fucking daylight. Demons know they can't travel in daylight.
無理することはね。お前の本性を出せばいい。俺がここで叩く。
This guy is fucking insane, and I love him though.
品津川、日向ではダメだ。日陰に行かねば鬼は出てこない。
Yeah.
親方様。
Crap, you got a point.
捕まつる。
How did you not think of that? Ow. You're never gonna heal at this point.
お前の大好きな人間の血だ。
息ができない。
See, this would be a lot more intense, I feel, if we also didn't know that she's been hypnotized to not attack humans. I still don't like that. But I guess props if she's finally awake during the daytime, though. That's pretty cool. Bro, I'd love if she just took off her mask and just said, arsehole. That'd be great. Alright then. Because it's like... It is kind of self-defense, honestly, if you think about it. Like, she hasn't provoked anyone and she's just been attacked for nothing. It is really cool, though, because this is the first time Nezuko would have to act without Tanjiro's input. Because now Tanjiro can't help. So yeah. So we got a notable number of characters in this one. All of the 9 we now know. Hashira, which is pretty cool. And, well, not too much happened in the episode. We are just kind of going over the basics right now that I felt was inevitable to come at some point anyway. You know, the objections to teaming up and, you know, traveling with a demon while being a demon slayer. Obviously, those are some pretty questionable situations at face value. I was curious, you know, what the HQ would think of that overall, because we haven't really been given any kind of, viewpoint from them on what they actually know about all of this, you know. Like, Nezuko being a demon, that's one thing, but, you know, do they know about her situation specifically? How much do they know? And very surprisingly already, they know about Muzan and his interaction with Tanjiro, which is very interesting. So there is a sound logic to keeping this going, because obviously, while it is a little cynical, it makes sense. Like, none of the Hashirai have ever come into contact with Muzan before. Again, like, Tanjiro's luck, it's literally either the best luck ever or the worst luck ever, depending on what side you're on at this point. You know, it's literally a flip of the coin. But not only that, none of the Hashira have ever encountered him, and that they now want to use that advantage that Tanjiro has as kind of bait. They now have a loose thread connecting them to Muzan specifically, and obviously getting rid of Tanjiro would eliminate that thread that they have. So there is value in keeping him alive. So yeah, it is an interesting viewpoint, and obviously if they did kill Nezuko here, Tanjiro would he'd either quit the corpse for good, or he would try and kill them himself and get himself killed. So either way, it's a bad case scenario. But it is interesting, and obviously there is some valued information right there. Not the kind they're necessarily looking for, because obviously you'd want to know about abilities, you know, powers, connections, everything like that when it comes to Muzan. And while it isn't necessarily useful for helping kill him, it is interesting because we know that, you know, what we do know is that he has a human family and a human child. And whether or not that girl is human or if it was just a farce, she would have demon genes. So I'm really curious if that's something, if it's a special case where it can be turned on and off, where it's literally reversible. You know, be a human on night and you be a demon in the night, something like that. Or if it's, you know, just, it's a human. Could also just be an adoptive kid to go along with the facade, I guess, as well. But, obviously, it's not necessarily useful information for actually killing Muzan, of course. But, it's a start. It's a thread. It's something cool that we've seen, which is nice. What I wasn't expecting, though, is Urokodaki and Jiyu to actually co-sign onto the idea that if Nezuko ever did eat a human, or even just ingest blood, they would actually kill themselves for it. You know, we knew that was the price to pay for Tanjiro, but it's very interesting they went on. I can kind of see Urokodaki doing it, because it's like, he decided to let Nezuko live. He decided to train Tanjiro to help, you know, be a demon slayer. So I get that sense of responsibility for a mentor, but I really would like to see Jiyu's backstory and what has made him so confident to believe in Nezuko like this. Like, I guess the answer is pretty simple in that he saw her defend a human, which is something probably none of the Hashira have ever seen before, which would make sense. That honestly would be enough. But I'm curious if it goes a lot deeper than that, as it's a very mysterious character, obviously, and I would like to see what exactly is why he's so apparent about that. You know, that would be pretty cool. But obviously this episode kind of just started to relay information that we already know in the show. You know, he's a demon slayer with a demon. That's never been really necessarily helpful, which, you know, not helpful, but it's never been precedented before, which is understandable. And it does seem like, you know, a lot of the Hashira would probably have bad experiences with demons anyway, which led them to be in the Demon Slayer court. So, you know, from an outsider perspective, I feel like they are justified in thinking this is bullshit, because, like, you know, these guys are the most experienced with demons before, and throughout all that experience, they've never seen anything like Nezuko before. They've never seen a demon actually assist with a human. You know, and they've probably seen the greatest terrors that demons can have. You know, all of them have probably at least seen one of the Kizuki before, you know, and seen the kind of monsters that they are. So it makes sense that they're like, you know, no matter how long it's been, you know, 2 years or not, this is not a good idea whatsoever. You know, and some of them are outright bloodthirsty to keep the demons, dead at all costs, you know. So they're not really looking for a means to an end. They're just looking for, you know, a way of getting out their own vengeance on demons. As I assume all of them have suffered one way or another through demons, which is interesting. But I am very curious to see where we actually go from here. Surprisingly, Zenitsu and Inosuke are not actually on the trial right now, despite the fact that they have been companions of Tanjiro for not very long. That was their first mission together, but they have been companions for a while now, and they are aware that Tanjiro was walking around with a demon, which would make them accomplices. So I'm a little surprised they aren't. I guess the excuse is that they are more badly injured than Tanjiro, and they kind of need to recover before anything can happen to them. That could be it. Or it could just be that since Tanjiro's been doing it since the very beginning, that's the excuse that he came into this with a demon anyway. But yeah, so I'm really, really curious to see this next episode. Obviously, this guy is looking to prove his point by literally just baiting... that was just my water. Literally just baiting Nezuko into drinking his blood, and you know, seeing what happens there. Obviously, this is the first time we've seen Nezuko actually awake during the daytime. So I'm curious if that's gonna mess with her mental state at all. Obviously, she's very pissed off right now because she's been stabbed 3 times now, just in the box, literally doing nothing, and she's probably also going to take awareness that that Tanjiro is tied up right now and on the ground. It doesn't look good from any side, and I'm really curious to see what Nezuko's going to do right now. Obviously, last episode, she did not specifically fight that girl, who I guess is not a Hashira since she's not in this, since she isn't in this scene with us. But she specifically did not fight the girl at all. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here, because on one hand, it is self-defense, because, you know, Nezuko has been provoked. She hasn't done anything directly. So I'm curious if she will necessarily... I'm curious if she'll just take the beating down without actually acting, or if she'll just react, but only in self-defense. So not doing any fatal strikes alone, just kind of parrying and kind of blocking off attacks, something like that. But we're going to see. Obviously, she is pissed off, very justifiably, and I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. What is really cool, though, is that the main guy, the leader right now, is actually on Tanjiro's side. Mostly for selfish reasons of, you know, connections to Muzan, but he is for Nezuko to live, which is a good sign. It is a good start. It is a good shot. I'll admit, probably the best scene was fucking Tanjiro outright slugging the guy with his hammerhead. That was beautiful. That was great. Even the other, even the all the Hashira were actually surprised to see that, which is pretty funny. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I do really like the designs of them as well. Like, they're very colorful. They're very interesting, obviously, and I do like how we do have a bit of a gap here between, like, some are 50-50, some are all for, some are against, you know, so we're in a spot where it's pretty much as unbalanced as you can get. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen going forward. after this set's done, I will write names down because they gave us all the names and the art styles that they actually used there. Like, some were Love, Mist, Walter, obviously is GU. Serpent guy with a snake. Oh, I love the snake. I've been playing Elden Ring DLC recently, and that is a very, very sussy, sexy snake boy. So that was very fun to see. You know, so yeah. Like I said, I will write those names down at the end of this set. Obviously, that stuff I'm not going to want to forget for later, because I assume all of them are going to be important going forward in the show. But yeah, this is really fun. So guys, let's keep going. One episode to go left of this set. Episode 23. This can either go beautifully right or completely horribly wrong. And honestly, I feel like both are equally possible right now. So, let's begin this episode 23 in 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh, just Hashira meeting. Very fine.
かまどくん、肺を圧迫されている状態で呼吸を使うと血管が破裂しますよ。
Yikes.
血管が破裂。いいな。響き派手で。
What the hell, bro? Would you chill out?
かわいそうに。
Be funny if she just stepped on the blood and was like, bro, wiped her foot with it. I don't want your weak, shitty, salty blood. Tastes like ass.
かまどくん。
Nice! That's insane! Oh, we're finally... Oh, that's sick. We're finally seeing in her headspace.
どうして今そうなったかわからないけど。
Hey, Daddy and Mommy. That is so interesting because she's retaining her memories.
人間は皆お前の家族だ。
But she still remembers her actual family, which is so
人
interesting.
間を守れ。
Well,
どうしたのかな。
鬼の女の子はそっぽ向きました。品津川様に3度刺されていましたが、目の前に血まみれの腕を突き出されても我慢して噛まなかったです。
oof.
ではこれで禰豆子が人を襲わないことの証明ができたね。証明しなければならない。これから炭治郎と禰豆子が鬼殺隊として戦えること。
You're really gonna
役に立てること。
recruit her as a demon slayer? I mean, I'm all for it.
おいで。そうしたらみんなに認められる。
That's so sus because he almost just did that.
変わってくる。
俺と禰豆子は鬼物寺無惨を倒します。俺と禰豆子が必ず悲しみの連鎖を断ち切る刃を振る。
Wow. Strike with a blade that will break the chain of
今の炭治郎には
despair.
できないからまず12気づきを一人倒そうね。
Sure.
はい。
Be a realistic kid.
ダメよ、笑ったら。ダメダメダメ。
鬼殺隊の柱たちは血を吐くような鍛錬で自らを叩き上げて視線をくぐり12気づきをも倒している。
Nice.
いい心がけだ。
だからこそ柱は尊敬され優遇されるんだ。
Do you become a member of the Hashira if you kill a Kizuki by default?
はい。
あまり下の子に意地悪をしないこと。御意。
Back in the box.
でしたらかまどくんは私の屋敷でお
I
預かり
broke
い
my
たしましょ
blade.
う。
Can I get a new one? Pretty please.
はい、連れて行ってください。
では中合会議を始め。
Oh wow.
その傷だらけの人に
He hurt my sister again. Oh my god, I fucking love that. He loves his headbutts. Oh my god. I mean, not many can say they've actually headbutted one of the Hashira. He did it once, and he's gonna do it again. Many, many times.
そういえば蝶屋敷って言ってたっけ
Cool. Makes sense.
いる。人いる。
あれは
Ah, there you are.
そうだ、つぐ子の方だ。お名前は
すぐこ
Sukuko?
つゆりかなお様だ。
Ah.
最終選別の時の子だ
Oh, she was one of the finalists?
ゆうべかなお様に踏んづけられたことを忘れてんな。
Ah. I didn't even put that together.
柱が育てる大使だよ。相当才能があって優秀じゃないと選ばれない。女の子なのにすげえよな。
She tried to kill my sister.
失礼いたします。つゆり
But
様。
that's becoming more commonplace than
胡
I'm
蝶様の
comfortable
申し
with.
付けにより参りました。
5回飲むの ?1 日に ?3 ヶ月間飲み続けるのこの薬。これ飲んだら飯食えないよ。すげえ苦いんだけど辛いんだけど。
Oh, shut your trap.
だけど俺の腕と足治るわけ。本当ね、本当に治るわけ。どうやって治るわけ。ちゃんと説明。
I already pity these poor medics.
まだ騒いでるの。説明は何度もしましたでしょ。いい加減にしないと縛りますからね。
Oh my god, this poor lady! Oh.
全員大丈夫か怪我したのか
雲になりかけたからさ
Oh my god.
俺今すごい手足が短い
Oh,
の
that's hilarious.
そうなのか伊之助は村田さんは見なかったか
村田って人は知らんけど伊之助なら
They
隣
still
にいるよ
kept his goddamn mask
あ
on.
本当だ思いっきりいた気づかなかった
No, I feel like I feel like I would have noticed. I don't
伊之
know.
助
いいよ。気にしないで。
声が
Yeah,
伊之助か
it's kind of cool.
なんか喉潰れてるらしいよ
Oh,
詳しいことよくわかんないけど首をこうガッとやられたらしくてそれで最後自分で大声出したのがとどめだったみたいで喉がえらいことに落ち込んでんのかすごく丸くなっててめちゃくちゃ面
please
白いんだよ
wipe your
な
nose.
禰豆子山では俺を守ってくれてありがとう禰豆子だけじゃなくて鱗滝さんも富岡さんも俺たちのために命を懸けていてくれただなんて話を聞いていると頭がふわふわした
Might be some
どういう人なんだろう
technique even he has. Whatever his breathing technique is. Wow.
そうかお前寝不足だもんな
Crap.
痛いし辛いけどまだまだ頑張らなきゃだってさいつか兄ちゃんは大人になるそしてじいちゃんになって死んじゃってそしたら鬼の禰豆子は一人ぼっちになっちゃう
You're talking like you're not gonna heal her.
それじゃあ寂しいよな禰豆子
今回のナタグモ山ではっきりした。 大使の質が信じられないほど落ちている。ほとんど使えない。
Cannon fodder.
まず育ての目が節穴だ。
Wow. How ironic.
使えるやつか使えないやつかくらいは分かりそうなもんだろう。
昼間のガキはなかなか使えそうだがな。品津川に派手な一撃を入れていたし。
Oh yeah. You are never living that down.
愛する者を惨殺され入隊した者、代々鬼狩りをしている優れた血統の者以外にそれらの者たちと並ぶ、もしくはそれ以上の覚悟と気迫で結果を出すことを求めるのは残酷だ。
そうだね。しかしこれだけ加減の語が
Can he just have like one mission that's not like a super demon?
無惨はいないのだろうね。浅草もそうだが、隠したいものがあると無惨は騒ぎを起こして巧妙に私たちの目をそらすから。今ここにいる柱は戦国の時代始まりの呼吸の剣士以来の精鋭たちが揃ったと私は思っている。
Fair enough.
宇髄天元、煉獄京次郎、胡蝶忍、甘露寺光、時と
This is literally the perfect scene to memorize names. I'll be looking at this scene back over and over again until I get every single one of them down.
富岡義勇、鬼仏寺無惨、何としてもお前を倒す。お前は必ず私たちが。
You look a bit like him, to be honest. Are you two related? That'd be kind of funny if he somehow found, like, I don't know, immortality of his own and he's been, like, the primal demon slayer leader for generations. At least for now, we're in the clear. Nezuko can live for the foreseeable future. Don't know if we'll be fulfilling that mission so soon, though. Alright, because it's like, we are, despite how good Tanjiro is at attracting demons, we are not finding a Kizuki literally in this next set. Like, that ain't happening. Alright guys, and we are back. It is a new day now, and I'm probably going to record 23 to 20, or 24 to 26 right after this. But that was episode 23 of Demon Slayer. Very cool, very cool. We finally met all of the Hashira, which is pretty interesting. And, you know, we got a bit of, you know, the current status of the world itself, how demons are now pretty much on the rise. They're, you know, pretty much not been like this, this aggressive in probably years, basically. You know, they're uprising a lot. Humanity is getting weaker, and the demon slayers that they are training are starting to fail more and more. So we're a bit of a sledge right now, apparently. That you know, aside from the Hashirai and pretty much Tanjiro, the corps aren't really making many results, unfortunately. And of course, their main kind of to get to Muzan himself aren't really getting anywhere, which is a shame. But it is still interesting going forward. You know, I'm curious how much we're going to learn about these Hashirai going forward. You know, because there are 9 of them. You know, that is a lot of characters to go through and flesh out. I am interested in all of them, and we did get what their kind of special techniques are, surprisingly, in all of this. And there's not really any kind of consistency in this. You know, they're not really elemental based or anything. A few of them are. You know, we got a flame Hashirai, and obviously Jiu is a water Hashirai. But then we got stuff like serpent, insect, and fucking stone. Like, this is interesting, right? So yeah, that is interesting to learn. Like I said, I am curious pretty much about all of them. I would like to learn more about all of them, but obviously this is probably going to be a pretty slow ledge. I could see maybe as the seasons go by, we focus on maybe 1 to 2 of them to kind of give them a balanced amount of screen time to flesh them out, which would be cool. But yeah, definitely going forward though, we're gonna get more used to them, which is cool. And you know, and honestly, right now I'd be down for pretty much any of them. You know, some I like more than others, but I'm pretty much down for any of the Hashira at the moment. But yeah, this episode did of course cement that Nezuko not going to attack a human. She does see humans as family. She does see them as people and beings that need to be protected. All that good stuff, which is really cool to see. So obviously, right now, they are kind of invoking a test or, you know, a trial as a, you know, in a way on them, which is pretty much just Tanjiro, Nezuko, slay a member of the Kizuki, and you will be accepted by the Demon Slayers. Now that's bullshit, because they basically did that. They basically did that, and Tanjiro was kind of just stolen out of that win, and Jiu had to just come in and do the cleanup. Same, that was not fair at all. I'm still considering that bro's win, because, like, come on. But no, it is interesting, obviously, like I said, Tanjiro just seems to have the natural ability to attract, like, the blood art demons anyway, so honestly, probably not going to be that long before we do run into another one of the 12, and we do end up actually proving ourselves to the corpse, and, you know, I don't know what's going to happen at that point. You know, there doesn't seem to be any limitation that we've seen on the Hashira. I don't think that would necessarily make him a Hashira by default for slaying on the 12, although I could honestly see that happening as well, because, like, they are the top demons in Muzan's, like, you know, hierarchy, so of course, like, if you're able to do that, you probably deserve to be a Hashira. They did say that the members of the Hashira have slayed Kizuki before, but I don't know if they said that all of them have slayed a demon before. If that is a legit requirement to be a Hashira, is to slay one of the 12 Kizuki. It would make sense if it is a limitation, but I'm not entirely sure if that is actually the case just yet. But it is cool. You know, the Master definitely seems to have faith at this point, you know, that it can be done, and has faith in Tanjiro, kinda, to actually have the capability to do it, which is going to be fun. What is interesting, though, is that this guy also knows about Tamiyo. He knows about the Doctor Demon. He knows about, you know, what they're doing, what they're probably planning, all that stuff. So he straight up knows, and I'm assuming that is definitely based on the Hashira reactions. That's definitely a secret he hasn't told them. But he knows about the Demon Doctor, and knows that there are actually good demons out there, actually, you know, looking to rebel against Muzan and help humanity. So that pretty much just cements that this guy knows everything that's happening all the time. You know, there is never anything that's kind of out of reach of him. I assume the crows are always spying on Tanjiro, even when he doesn't necessarily know it, and they just relay every last detail to the Master. So that is that's something I'm just going to assume going forward, is that if anything happens in this show involving a demon in any capacity, he just knows it, you know? Which is, you know, fair enough. This guy is pretty dedicated to the job. Making the declaration that in his lifetime, Muzan is going to die. And pretty dedicated to him being the one to do it, which is interesting. What is interesting, though, is that, of course, he is under an illness right now. He does seem to be, you know, very ill right now, and health is on the decline, which is interesting. Obviously, there's a backstory to be told with him, like, he is blind, his face is beyond scarred at this point, you know. I don't know, if I had to throw, like, a theory out there for what's going on with him, I'd just say, like, he has, like, none of the Hashira have ever encountered Muzan, that was said. I'm going to assume that he, being the Master, has at one point, and that fight was the result, ended in his current condition right now. The illness that is happening could be that he is fighting demon blood right now. It could be that Muzan cursed him, and both through his own, I guess, breathing technique, he is slowing down the process, and also because of the butterfly girl. Where is her name? Shinobu. Possibly she also secretly gave him a medicine to slow down the rapid process of the venom anyway, and that is the reason why he's ill. You know, like I said, none of the Hashira know the reason, I assume, and Tanjiro couldn't pick up any demon scent from him, but I'm assuming that could be the reason. It's also the fact that his, like, breathing technique or whatever he's doing, his voice actually seemed to calm someone down, and actually Tanjiro said it made him feel lighter in the head, which is interesting. So it could be that, you know, he is, his makes people calmer, lighter, you know. Obviously, the calmer you are, the less the blood flows. Obviously, that's going to make, like, poisons and venom and shit, like, slow down rapidly. We literally saw that with Zenitsu earlier on in the show, so that could be the case. But, yeah. It is interesting, you know. I don't know for sure how focused we're going to be on the Master and his own affairs, you know. He's got his own stuff going on, obviously. And especially the decline of the Demon Slayers. You know, not quite sure if we're going to focus too much on that. But we are seeing now, it could be a result of desperation. But the girl, the other applicant that passed the exam along with Tanjiro, is actually being trained by Shinobu, which is interesting. What was her name? Kanayo? Kanayo. Something like that. The girl that pretty much stomped on Tanjiro hard and tried to kill Nezuko last time. She is being trained by a Hashira, you know, like I said. That could be the result of just, well, the teachers aren't really getting the job done now, so the Hashira are kind of starting to train up people themselves to increase their numbers and their capabilities. That's just my theory. But yeah, she's interesting, she's cool. We don't know anything about her, literally, other than that at this point, so I'm curious what she's going to do going forward in the series. And it should be fun. It's going to be interesting to see. I am really curious, though, again, how we progress forward, because the next set, maybe not episode 24, but I do assume we're going to get a bit of a time skip anyway, because we literally need to. Like, everyone's just kind of fucked right now and recovering from their injuries, and, you know, our swords are broken, so at the very least, they need 2 weeks to get their katanas back in action to fight anyway. So that's probably the what I'm expecting right there. You know, Zenitsu, bro's slowly turned into a spider with his messed up limbs, which is pretty funny. Inosuke, obviously, crushed throat and head and all that shit. He's kind of... he's going through a bit of an arc right now, which is cool to see, since he got humbled by that one demon, which is funny. And obviously, Tanjiro, you know, crushed spine probably from that stomp, hurting lungs, pretty much everything hurts for him. That kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm really excited to go forward. Obviously, I'm curious what they'll do for the finale of the season. Because like I said, I feel like we're pretty much done with any more further interactions with demons or demon hunting in this show. So we could spend this time actually getting to know more of the Hashira. We focus on one and we'll carry that person into possibly the movie and season 2 and beyond. That could be the case. We take a break from our main cast at the moment, or we could just do something else. I don't know. But yeah. So guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.